Hey y'all, how you doing? It's Valerie here. It is a very windy day, so I hope you can hear me and I hope that the wind doesn't interfere too much and make the sound horrible. I have this compost bin by my house that I like the placement of it, but if I would move it out about a foot, maybe 10 inches, it would get the benefit of the rain. Right now it's up under the eaves to the point where when it rains it doesn't really get any water. And the compost would compost more quickly and more efficiently, and I wouldn't have to water it I wouldn't have to water it as often at least if I just moved it out some. So it kind of won't budge in its current state because it's overly full. So I'm going to start digging the compost out of the bottom where it's finished and take it up and put it on my garlic plants because my garlic is in need of some extra soil. I don't know if some of it washed away or maybe it just wasn't as fluffy as I thought it was, but I'm going to take that compost and put it on my garlic bed so that way we can move the compost bin out a little bit. Here it is. Here's the compost bin. And the stuff on bottom is finished. I'm going to go grab some buckets and start shoveling out compost. And then I'll be carrying it up there to my garlic. This is why I don't like these things. This has been in my compost for quite a while, and it is still intact. Now, this may break down over a while compared to other substances or other materials, but in your garden, you need it to break down a lot quicker than this. So I always just rip these off of my root balls if I use them, and then I throw them away. I don't compost them. Here's the 2 buckets, and since I can't film while I carry these buckets uphill, I will meet you up there. Alright, now it's got compost. I feel a little better about the depth. Honestly, I was noticing only the ones on these outer edges here were lacking soil. The rest of them were buried about right. But putting this compost on here will also feed it, and hopefully they swell and we have some nice heads of garlic. So it's the next day. Yesterday I got my compost around my garlic. Well, today it's a stormy day and it's kind of just sprinkling right now, and there's a nice breeze out, but it has been heavier at times, and I think we're due for a slightly more severe storm later. So all that just to say, I'm out here in my greenhouse this morning, and one of the tasks I really want to do is, I have a bunch of pepper seeds that we planted together that I said were old, and a lot of them just haven't sprouted, and it's been, let's see, I planted them in February, so it's going on like the beginning of February. So 2 months. I think the ones that are going to sprout already have. So I'm going to go around and kind of just gather up those pots and dump them to make room for more stuff. This is what has the chance of happening if you throw those out too early. I have a little pepper seedling just coming up in this one, and it's making me rethink if the right thing to do was to dump all those peppers. What if they were just stubborn because they're old and they're just now coming up? See that? This is the Zipper Turkenspitz. Oh, what to do, what to do. I think I'm just going to keep going. I've already mourned the loss of these plants, so to speak. And I have given them a long time. I just don't know. It does make me a little upset that these could have peppers coming up. Whenever you have to do stuff like that, like dump plants and then find out that, oh, one grew, maybe I'm a little premature. You can't just focus on your failures and think, oh, I'm bad at this. You have to count those wins too. If you look around, you will see all kinds of plants around me that are thriving. Excuse me. They're beautiful. They will go out in my garden and they will provide beauty and they will provide food. And I won't even think about these peppers 2 or 3 months from now. You know, these peppers will be a long gone memory. There's so much to do right now. And I also take comfort in the fact that I know that there's not one single one of those things that I just got rid of that's irreplaceable. For me, I have to focus on realizing that things aren't so precious. It's not like that big of a deal if I lose a pepper. It's all replaceable. I can start my pepper collection over again tomorrow and eventually over time, have every single thing that I just possibly lost. And so I think that that's just something to keep in mind if you're new to this, is that every single gardener out there has failures. Even the best grower that's been doing it for years and years and years and years and years, they lose plants. There's pests, there's disease, and there is human error, and honestly, every year presents a new challenge. Like, I might not be necessarily dealing with the same issues in my seedlings that I dealt with in previous years. For instance, last year, no, it was the year before last, I overwintered a pepper. And on that pepper, despite all my best efforts, I brought in aphids. So I had a huge aphid outbreak that I was fighting on all of my plants all winter long. And, you know, other years maybe it's been fungus gnats or maybe it's been bad seed. What I'm saying is, even if you grow things in the exact same way, your pests and issues are going to vary from year to year. So just troubleshoot it the best you can. Try to keep it in the back of your mind or write it down somewhere so the next time it happens, you know what to do. But don't think that all these people have perfect plants by having perfect growing habits. It's literally just do it, refine it, get better every year, and you're still going to have to deal with loss and failure, because every single person has loss and failure. You can't control the weather. You can't control the bugs. I mean, you can to a certain extent. You can't control human error. Once again, you can to a certain extent, but mistakes happen. So, now that I've given that long rant and I've kind of been talking through getting the pepper loss out of my system because it does hurt a little bit. I am a bit disappointed. I'll get over it and move on and just relish the joy of this new planting season, and those peppers will be a thing of the past. And also it gives me a chance to start over and curate a more specific collection that are catered more to my needs or to my interests. So I can look at it that way too. I have a tendency to want to look on the dark side of things, but I do remind myself when possible that, you know, not every loss is a loss. You know, sometimes it's a chance to start over. Alright, I'm rambling. I don't even know what the hell I just said. So, thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.